Happy Sunday, y'all. Boruto 196. And let me just say, man, this video probably would have came out earlier, but dog, last night, man, I'm gonna keep it right here with us, dog. Y'all my niggas. I'm your nigga. We homies. Bro, I pissed in the bed last night, so I had to wake up, take my ass to the laundromat, get all cleaned up and shit. It was like let me explain myself first of all. Like, it wasn't like this is like, all right, this is like the second time this happened, but like, it was one of them dreams, right? Where you think it's very vivid and you're thinking you're awake. And I went to the bathroom like 2 different times. I don't know why. Like, the first time I tried to piss in a sink and it kept splashing on me and shit. So I was like, oh, let me go to the toilet like a human being. Went to the toilet and it still kept like splashing on me. So that was the dream I had that woke me up. And then I was like, yo, woke up wet and shit. So I had to like make my bed. I had to clean up everything before I even got to this shit. But let me just say this, bro. 196. Happy Sunday. Point number one. Now, this is a little bit beef I have because Kashin Koji is one of my favorite characters of the series. His design is up there. I think that his design may be my number one. I got to really look into that before I even claim that type of shit. But I just hate seeing them look so fucking garbage, bro. Because, like, when you get to the manga, it's like, yo, he's like, bruh, he has a cover art that's one of my favorite cover arts of the whole manga series and shit. But when you get to the anime, it's like he's one of the worst looking characters that we have. Like, Amato looks good, Delta is back and forth, Jigen is back and forth. Like, it is what it is. I know different animation studios are gonna give it to us different ways and shit. And when it gets to that real shit, when the whole world watches Boruto, he's gonna look up to par. So it's just one of those little things, right? But on to point two. So the anime did something dope. They added Sarada and Mitsuki to the whole training situation with Kawaki, Boruto, and Naruto. And I think it's dope because it's not like they just randomly threw them in there just to have little bonding experiences. We do learn later on in the episode that there is, look, fuck it, let's get into it. Like Sarada being there. With Sarada and Mitsuki in general in the manga, they don't necessarily have like plot points or anything. They're just there for the show. They're sideline characters for real. Like, they're literally like, they don't have no fucking story. Like, ain't no backstory with them. Like, shit, bro. They're just there. And it seems like their whole role in the manga is kind of like, oh, we're just worried about our friend. Like, he has this mark on him. What's going to go on? But the anime gave it like a dope little twist. Like, especially with Sarada. She came across, like, after watching Naruto train and shit, she just came across like, yo, this motherfucker strong as shit. This, like, it's a different type of reaction to the karma that I never even thought of it. Like, I always just seen it as, okay, they're worried about their friend. But now it's kind of like, oh, this shit's giving my friend some power. I got to go back to training. I want to be the next Hokage. I'm going to talk to my dad, my nigga. We're going to learn that Shidori shit. Like, it's different. Like, there's a whole different type of motivation. And while we're all even on this little point, it makes me think about Mitsuki. Like, we all know Mitsuki has like his little sage mode and shit. He has powers that we don't even necessarily know about yet because his father Orochimaru told him like, yo, dog, you gotta take it easy, bruh. If you go in there acting too fucking strong, you act wild, they gonna see you as a threat and shit. We gonna, the shit's gonna be hot for us, dog. We might get banned back to the fucking Sound Village and shit. So it makes me wonder if Mitsuki's holding back anything more. Have we seen his full potential? I know he has like body restrictions and shit. But what would go through Sarada's mind if suddenly she felt as if she was the weakest link of the group? Like, how would that impact her? If she were to just see all of a sudden Mitsuki's fucking OP as shit, Boruto got a karma seal, this nigga OP as shit, now Kawaki's in the mix, who knows, he's OP as shit, and then it's just Sarada, who I'm not saying she, garbage, but I'm just saying, like, in her mind, she got high standards for herself, so she gotta be that nigga. She wanna be a Hokage, she wanna be the leader. She's definitely the leader of Team 7 as of now, because just the way she strategizes and shit, Boruto my nigga, but he more of like that, I'm gonna hit you with the final blow type of dude, and Mitsuki just that young gunner. But it was definitely dope to see that they got sprinkled into this little situation. Because in the manga, it's just Himawari, Naruto, Boruto, Kawaki. That's it. And then also we get to see a different side of Mitsuki. Mitsuki, he's my MVP this episode because we see a lot of humor. Well, we see like a little bit of humor from Mitsuki. He goes up to shake Kawaki's hand. And we don't really get too much interaction between the two in the manga, I don't think. But he goes up to shake Kawaki's hand. And it gives us a little breathing room from Kawaki's rudeness. It's like at this point, we've seen what, like 6 episodes of this nigga, and he's just like the same and all that. Like, all right, fuck you, bro. I don't want to eat that bullshit. I'm gonna choose my flavor. I'm not gonna shake you with my hand. Do I look like a dumbass? I don't know you, nigga. And we kind of are brushed away from that whole, okay, here he goes again with his attitude, with Mitsuki, you know, trying to like an attempt at a prank. Like, oh, you're so smart, you got it. And then his hands was a bunch of fucking snakes and shit, where it really just was like something going over his head, that he was just being fucking like treated like shit by a new person in the village, right? But that was dope to see. And then he also has like this crazy ass like quote later on in the arc, which makes me think. It also made me think, like, is Mitsuki holding back something? Does he have other? Well, we know like, does he play dumb? Do you guys think he plays kind of stupid, or is it just? I know he's trying to work himself into becoming more human, but sometimes I wonder, and I don't think it's like on some evil shit, but if it's on some like he wants to fit in, like, is he like above them in skill level and strength, but he really wants to like kind of lower himself to like the standards of his peers to fit in more? Because we know he has felt the wrath of having too much power. We've seen his fucking internal organs are fucked up and shit after he goes sage mode on them niggas. And he kind of says, like, as Sarada's walking away, and well, speaking of Boruto too, I hope they know that with great power pretty much comes like there's a sacrifice that comes with that type of shit. Like, there's always another side of the coin when it comes to having these crazy ass powers and shit. But like, meanwhile, he's still, you know, promoting their moves and shit type. Like, yeah, you know, Sarada, I think you can do it. Yeah, go ahead and train hard. Good luck. And as she, like I said, she walks away, it kind of like his expression changes. Is like he has a worry for them. Like, damn, I'm gonna have to watch out for these. Like, is Mitsuki low-key the big brother of all these niggas? That's what I'm really wondering. Now, on to my third point. I think this is like a little dope thing with, like, this is like the 3rd or 4th time we see Naruto kind of kick Boruto in the back during a training match and shit, which kind of is reminiscent to me with Itachi flicking Sasuke in the head. So I wonder if like this is their thing now. That's just like a little thing I had to put in there. And as for 4, something else that was like a little more sprinkle from the anime onto the manga is, rather than Himawari telling Kawaki about the whole handshake, the ninja shinobi shit, and all that reconciliation, blah, 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 all that gay shit, it's Sarada. And like I said, I think it's just more so Sarada building, it's like building a path for a stronger relationship between the two. So the anime is definitely boosting up Sarada way more than the fucking manga, but the manga is not necessarily the content source to kind of get into these characters' depth. It's really like the manga is really just the plot. It's just like, let's get the plot. What is the anime going to be about? Like, it's like basically a synopsis type shit. But I think it was dope. Like, cause like I said, Sarada has in a way become like the unofficial tour guide for Kawaki. So, and then Kawaki at this point just sees her as like, yo, you just being annoying, my nigga. Like, you know? And then just to rewind back to Mitsuki, like I said, his whole humor and his deep words, I actually found the actual words, is every power carries a risk. That just made me want him to have his own arc, whether it be, and I don't want it to, like, I want it to be a actually important arc. I don't want no sideline, like, oh, here we are with Mitsuki and he's, you know, kicking it and he's running errands. And like, I want him to fucking save the fucking world, dog. I want to see that nigga just stunt. I want to see him become a fucking war hero. You know, like, I want to see my nigga put in that work, like, for real. I want to see him unleash his fucking power. And then we get into my 7th point. And I don't even know if like this is in order, but like this is like the thing I haven't said yet on this list. But we get the parallels of training with Naruto and then training with Jigen. One thing I noticed that I didn't really pick up in the manga, because the manga just made it seem like, okay, here's some more abuse from Jigen towards Kawaki, right? Whereas I didn't really catch it until I watched it in the anime. Part of Kawaki's training while he was like with Kara and shit was to be psychologically broken down. It wasn't like he was just getting abused just to be abused. That was part of fucking Jigen's like manipulation. It was all part of like breaking down his character, making him think he's valueless, making him think he's shit. That way he's a little bit more like characters we've seen, Kimimaro. Who else? not the Haku and shit, like characters like that who are like more devoted to their rescuee or their what's it called, like their master, right? So with Naruto and Boruto, like we even get that scene like Kawaki comes into Naruto's office like, yo, hey, did you hit Boruto? Like, do you spank that nigga? Like, you know, because it was just like I'm saying, he's being introduced to different styles of things. Like his version of life has been drastically different than what he's witnessing now. So, like I said, it's dope to see the parallels between the two fathers, I guess you could say. But that was, like I said, that's something I noticed way better like in the anime than I did in the manga. Like I said, I was just like watching the nigga, like looking at the panels, and it's like, damn, that nigga stay getting his ass whooped. Where in this, it's kind of like, oh, there was a purpose behind that. Like he was being trained, like he was literally being trained like a dog and disciplined like a fucking dog and brainwashed. But the thing about Kawaki that I really like though is through all that, yes, he has his setbacks socially, but it seems like he has a will. Like he's definitely curious. That like I'm curious to see how he switches sides. Like how the fuck do we get Boruto versus Kawaki at the end? Like I'm very curious to see how the fuck that happens, because it seems like he does have this strong will. He does eventually run away. He doesn't have like that what's it called, that Stockholm syndrome. It doesn't seem like he has that as of late. It does seem like he's still trying to get away from Kara as far as possible. Like he doesn't, I don't know, you know, like it's different. It's different. I'm just curious. I don't know what the fuck to say about this shit. And even furthermore, this is now the chakra versus the karma type conversation that he was having. So with Naruto, it's kind of like, you know, you don't have to be a shinobi to, you know ninjutsu. Like everyone has chakra. This is something that we're all born with. This is like, in fact, it's a power we're all given, no matter if you're, you know, just a kid like him, or you just wants to fucking paint and shit, whatever the fuck you want to do with your life. Or you're like a nigga like me, you know, young nigga Hokage shit. Like this is a power that connects us, and through you know, it's like his was very more psychological, not psychological, but psychedelic. He had like a psychedelic approach to what the fucking chakra was, what power was in general. Versus Jigen, it was like, bruh, you ain't shit. You ain't never gonna be shit. I give you karma, and you better not waste that shit, because without karma, you ain't shit. But even with the karma, you still ain't shit, because you always ain't gonna... Like, that was Jigen, bro. Like, bitch, you ain't never gonna be shit. You never was shit until you met a nigga like me, and you still ain't shit, because you broken, Kawaki. Like, it was just like I said, that whole training was breaking Kawaki down. Of course, they had to, you know, get their sparring sessions in, but at the same time, Jigen had to fucking break that man's mind, the little boy's mind, really. And the very end, I thought was dope. This is Boruto kind of eavesdropping on the conversation between Kawaki and Naruto, and you could see, like, he was like, I don't know, it was just like, he wasn't jealous about it. He was just like, okay, fuck yeah. Like, it seems like Boruto is, like, rooting for Kawaki, right? Like, he's hearing the conversation. He's thinking to himself, okay, maybe this motherfucker could change. I'm gonna put this glue back on that motherfucking table and shit, and we gonna see. We gonna become like brothers and shit. So it's kind of like, I don't know. That was a very mature move on Boruto's part. And I'm interested, like I said, because they're adding like little tweaks and little things. So I'm interested in seeing how Sarada starts to feel when it seems like Naruto is gonna start favoring Kawaki and shit. Like, I'm interested in seeing that. Like, you know, are they gonna have is that gonna be the rivalry? Because it seems like there's a three-headed monster when it comes to the rivalry. It's like promoted as Kawaki and Boruto. Sarada's also looking at Boruto like, yo, he's getting too strong. I can get stronger than him. Mitsuki's just fucking chilling. Like I'm saying, like he got some shit in the cut. Like, all right, nigga, when I go sage mode on you, fuck niggas, and then y'all niggas gonna be looking at me like, what's happening? And this is another thing that I realized, like, versus Naruto, like when it was like Naruto and Sasuke, like I've kind of found it hard to root for Naruto. Like I was always on that Sasuke side of things. I always thought he was cooler, like his powers, like everything about him was cooler. But this is like, in Boruto, we have like two semi-main characters. We have Kawaki, we have fucking Boruto. Like, I like both of these niggas. I fuck with both these niggas heavy. And even Sarada and Mitsuki, it's like I fuck with the whole damn team. Like, that's a difference that I see already with the whole main cast, at least. And I'm gonna leave that right there, dog. Peace. See y'all next week. I pissed in the bed on, you know, it's all good, baby. I'm clean. The bed is clean. It's all gravy. Peace.